MasenCast!
Hello guys, welcome to the podcast. Today we're gonna discuss about the first form of Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan. And the one that started them all.
Yes?
Like,
Go on.
the thing is, like, did you know that, like, the first time Super Saiyan 1 mentioned was by Nappa?
Nope.
The thing is, like, Vegeta and, like, Nappa heard about, like, Gohan and how strong he was, and then Vegeta commented how Saiyan human hybrids seem to be strong, and Nappa says like, you mean like some sort of Super Saiyans?
Okay.
It was clearly like Akira Toriyama didn't have the idea of an actual Super Saiyan and just did it like a Nappa joke.
Yeah.
Like, mentioned it. And that was like the first time it was mentioned in that saga. Like, it was not mentioned again. The next time the Super Saiyan was mentioned was in Namek saga when, you know, Vegeta just randomly started to say, I will become the Super Saiyan. Or, more correctly, when he saw Goku appear, he said, like, did Goku become the Saiyan of Legends? And then he started had the silhouette of the, you know, golden great ape Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
How can this low class Saiyan and not me as the high class, the Saiyan elite?
Yeah. So what's your opinion on how it was introduced like that? Like in the just Vegeta's randomly just no, is Goku the legendary Super Saiyan?
I mean, if a Super Saiyan is supposed to be a legend, I think that's basically how you would bring up a legend. Like, just speaking about these books that describe a Super Saiyan would be way more lame. So
yeah, well, that would work if you had this planet Vegeta around and you went there and then you heard of it, the legend.
But it isn't
like
around.
Yeah, so in this scenario, that were like, I understand. You know what I don't think was kind of pushing it is when Ginyu was against Goku and Goku went like Kaioken times whatever and get 180k power level, and then Goku just said, I can go even higher than the other, and Ginyu goes is like, wait, are you a Super Saiyan? Like,
so it's like crazy, like all these different races, because, you know, Ginyu is of a different race than Frieza or anything, so even they know about this
like,
Super Saiyan thing.
Like, how do they know? Are Saiyans just like always just talking randomly whenever they're in any planet with any other Frieza soldier? Did you know, like, the Super Saiyan legend? Oh man, like, when the next Super Saiyan appears, they're gonna be the most awesome thing ever, and Frieza keeps hearing like day in day out about it.
Well, I think Frieza had nightmares about the Super Saiyan before he saw the first Super Saiyan.
And here's the thing I found like weird, where what Ginyu said is like, oh my god, he's a Super Saiyan, impossible. And say Goku just went that, if you go out, I will have mercy on you. Like, he was like gonna be nice. Yeah. He was nice about it. And Ginyu said like, wait, that's not how Saiyan is. You can't be a Super Saiyan. You're too nice. He went that way. You can't be a Super Saiyan. You're too nice. Well, now I'm not afraid of you. I'm gonna take your body.
Yeah.
So what they thought is like a Super Saiyan is such a thing that if you're not ferocious Saiyan, you can't become a Super Saiyan.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that was like the assumption Ginyu had, which I'm guessing is the same assumption Saiyans have.
Which is the same assumption that Frieza had. Like, everyone, basically.
Yeah. This just reminds me of like what kind of effect does Saiyans have in the universe, where they were like, everybody knows what a Super Saiyan is, and they're like commenting about it.
Yeah, but like they're assuming that the Super Saiyan of Legend was like the same as every other Saiyan, so like really barbaric, and
it's possibility is the fact that the original Super Saiyan destroyed, now we know as Planet Sadal.
Could be.
Because we know, like, he destroyed a planet. And at that point...
destroyed himself in the process. Or herself! We don't know.
Yes. And two, we know that Saiyans who live in Planet Vegetos were few.
Mm-hmm.
So if those ones were not on that planet, when it exploded, it could be like they almost got wiped out because of the Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
So that way, that would explain why Planet Vegeta's population is so low.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, all right, that's what it happened there. Like in Namek Saga, the next time we kind of heard about Super Saiyan again was, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, is when Frieza saw what Gohan's rage boost. Or Vegeta Vegeta thought about when Gohan got rage boost and fought the third form Frieza. And then Vegeta went to white. Is he closer to a Super Saiyan than me?
Yeah, Vegeta has like this really weird problem.
Yeah, he's like very insecure about it.
Yeah, he's very insecure, yeah.
Which is... We'll talk about that a bit later when that comes off. And I don't remember if Frieza commented on it.
Me neither.
I specifically remembered he was like kind of surprised that Gohan was able to go.
Well, of course.
Like,
of course he would be.
But I don't remember... Maybe he kind of... If I remember... Like, what I think happened was that what Frieza said was, man, it was a good idea, I killed them all. Kind of like either that or something on the Super Saiyan, I don't remember correctly. Next time, after that point, when we started hearing about Super Saiyan, it's like when Vegeta got shot through the chest by Krillin, and then he got healed by Dende, and then he got a huge boost in power, and then he became overconfident because like, I have finally achieved Super Saiyan.
Yeah, you could say that he got over-clownfident.
Yeah. And then we got the vicious beating. And random narrator. I don't know, you watched Dragon Ball Z?
Yes.
In the anime. So I don't know what happened there in this scenario when Vegeta started crying. Because in the manga, a random narration started to occur.
What?
A narration like, this is when Prince Vegeta realized that there is no hope and could not help something from crying. Like stuff like that.
Okay, I don't remember, I don't recall, but I will say that literally after Vegeta realized that he isn't the Super Saiyan, and he sees, Goku arrive a bit too late, that he realizes that, oh, Goku, you are the Super Saiyan, and now I'm not bummed about it because I'm about to die. You saved the Saiyan race because you're a pure Saiyan like me. Or something in those lines. Not as empathetic because at that point Vegeta is still evil.
Yeah. And... yeah, exactly.
But in those lines. So then we have, all this build up. So Goku has been beaten many times throughout all Dragon Ball. Throughout to DBZ. Got beaten by... Raditz, got beaten by Vegeta, got beaten by Ginyu.
Yeah, well, Ginyu made his own
in a way, and he was in the recovery chamber and everything.
Yeah, he went.
So he got the full health, and that was my cat. If you heard that. So Goku has gone through a lot of training, a lot of pummeling.
Yeah.
But he still, isn't the Super Saiyan, so what does it take?
Yeah. And also, I agree with you as, from Goku's journey's point of view. That was really well done. The problem I have with the show itself is the fact that if you compare, from other perspectives.
Yes.
Okay, Goku was in a gravity thingy.
Yes, that also, yeah.
Yeah,
that also.
He was in the gravity thing, and when he came out of it, he was way stronger than everybody there. And for me, it's I don't have a problem he got stronger. It just raises this question that, no Saiyan ever decided to do something like that? Because all Saiyans have a general way to get strong when they get beaten up. So now that we know, Dragon Ball Z and Namek Saga, it's kind of weird that there weren't Saiyans who were... even not as strong as Frieza, not at all, but not as strong as Dodoria or Zarbon. More than Vegeta was the Prince of Saiyans, who was a prodigy, and he was 16,000, and he never trained. I get him, he never trained, he never put himself in too much danger to get stronger because he was naturally strong. But what I don't get is there should be some Saiyans who were able to push themselves farther along.
Well, that's Bardock.
Yeah, and he got himself from like 1,000 stuff to 10,000.
Yeah,
and that's it. And then
was that true by getting beaten by Dodoria?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is at least it's at this point it seems like the Zengai boosts are based on who's beating you up. More than...
so which is like we'll now go to way future and then go back. So like that scenario would then make sense that why Trunks gets so powerful because he gets beaten by Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta.
Yeah.
So that would be like the power gap. That's massive.
Yeah, that would also affect like Goku Black beating up Trunks too.
Yes, exactly. But
before we go back, I would be completely okay with this if the story would acknowledge it at any point.
Yes.
Like if anyone says that's how it works, and basically it's been consistent at least with that, I wouldn't have a problem because that would also explain why the random Saiyans never got so strong,
and would explain why Goku Black suddenly like losing to like Super Saiyan Goku.
Yeah.
Like would get strong because he got an actual Zengai boost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's a Saiyan.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now let's go back to the first time we got the Super Saiyan transformation with Goku and how it happened.
Yes. Apparently it took emotion to happen for a Saiyan.
Severe emotion of loss, at least.
And
anger.
And anger.
Basically, in Goku's case, the anger of having a loss.
Yeah, and even the build up to it, because Goku's exhausted.
Yeah,
like he wouldn't have been able.
He was afraid of Frieza at the end, if you remember.
Well, of course, like if you survive a fucking spirit bomb, of course you are.
Yeah,
afraid.
Yeah, like specifically like when he was charging the spirit bomb, and the Frieza was like, realized it's like, oh, you tried that, and put his finger on like at Goku's forehead. It's like, you know what's gonna happen next. And he only got lucky because Piccolo decided like to kick Frieza off.
Yeah.
So like with the first time we have Super Saiyan happened and we got the form, like the difference with the anime and the like manga is that in the anime, it had a build up to it a bit. Like he was like getting into the form, his hair blaring up gold and black and gold and black.
Yeah, and lightning
and everything.
Everything.
With
and him shivering, and his he didn't have pupils, like his eyes were just all white.
Yeah. In the manga, what happened is Krillin dies, Goku is silent for a moment, and then boom, Super Saiyan.
But I think you could do it in a comic book, like in a manga. Yeah. But it would probably be a lot harder than in an animation.
Well, when I've read like Naruto and different stuff, what they didn't, you could, it's not gonna be as long as like in animations form.
Yeah.
But in the mangas, what they usually do is they have like a couple of panels when we see they could for example make like Goku's different muscles like bulging.
Yeah.
And he's turning on different and have like a couple of panels where it's happening.
Yeah.
And having like a couple of panels when you see it's flickering from gold to black and gold to black. Like, you could do it. Not as long as the anime, but like, you could do it. But in the manga, they decided like, no. It's completely black. Goku just snaps, and that's the Super Saiyan. It's like, Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
And then he becomes like angry at me. And this, not only did we see the first Super Saiyan form, it's the first Super Saiyan version. Because if you remember, like, Goku's Super Saiyan hair design changes during the Cell Saga. And I wanted to know your opinion at this point. Which one do you prefer? The one you saw in Namek Saga with that style of a Super Saiyan hair, versus the one we see against Cell?
Well, to go to Super Saiyan 2 for a bit and then come back, I prefer the Super Saiyan 2 hair of Gohan's.
Yeah.
But I prefer the Namek Saga Super Saiyan 1 hair to the Cell Saga one.
You know what I would prefer? I prefer them like the Namek Saga Super Saiyan hair. Because one, it looks more imposing with the eyes and how it's drawn.
Mm.
And two, with that Super Saiyan form, Super Saiyan 2 would be more distinct.
Yeah.
Because then Super Saiyan 2 would look like with the more spikier one. Because Super Saiyan 1 wasn't spiky in Namek Saga. And if you remember Vegeta when he got Super Saiyan the first time, you see his hair was kind of similar too. It wasn't so spiky from every angle.
Yes.
So if that was Super Saiyan 1 and Super Saiyan 2 was spiky, there would be a noticeable difference between the forms.
Yeah, it would be more than just lightning around you.
Right. And
electricity.
And with the Super Saiyan like form, like
let's mention also like it's a times 50 boost, right?
In the times 50 boost that Akira Toriyama said the form is.
Yeah.
And that's how like obviously he got so strong enough to beat Frieza at that point.
Even like Frieza being desperate and going this bulgy one.
Yeah.
Which is 100% power, and I think that's like weird to call it 100% power because like in past his forms were regressive. So suddenly when he is, in this final form, it isn't final form anymore, and he like creates this new form again.
Yeah, it's kind of like
and which is now progressive.
Well, this raises a question about Frieza. We've known like Frieza was overpowered and he couldn't control his power.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't control his power, which he made the regression form. So this raises a question: when he couldn't control his power, was he at his 100% form? Like, he was born as a baby, like, was destroyed the planet because he couldn't control the power. Was he, like, bulging muscly like he was?
We don't know.
Like, because you could probably think the same thing. The 100% form looks like something he can't control.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. It also causes this one little issue with Frieza. This is in the story with that form is. He wasn't in his final form normally because he can't control it. But we never saw that problem with it. Like his 100%,
we didn't. Yeah.
With the 100% form, that problem is more like he's not used to it.
Yeah.
Not he can't control it. Like, or it went haywire.
Yeah.
Like, which is kind of weird because it felt more like an excuse to have Frieza in his first form. If we look at Frieza like in Dragon Ball Super, he's his final form the entire time. Except when he was resurrected back, where he decided randomly to be in his first form.
Yeah.
And then what did he do when he came to Earth? Full final form.
Yeah, because, well, there would have been, like, we talked about it
a
little bit, but basically there was no reason for him to be in these regressive forms again. No, basically probably just to remind everyone, like, oh, look at me, now I look like King Cold. Oh, now look at me, I look like this.
But here's the thing. The second form. Nobody has ever seen it. People only know Frieza for his first form. Second form, nobody has seen it.
What do you mean by nobody?
Like, before, like Vegeta was able to say transform, people knew, like, if I remember correctly, he said that nobody's seen this form. Like,
yeah.
But he said it like, but people knew. So it could have been like a scare tactic.
I like how we are talking about Super Saiyan and now we're talking about Frieza, but that's what we can expect, digressions. So let's continue. So yeah, nobody had seen basically the second form.
But people...
Or the third form.
Yeah, obviously. But with the second form, not only don't people know about it, like, never seen I mean, but they knew about it.
Mm.
So I'm guessing Frieza told them like, oh, 540,000, I have that power. I can also transform.
Mm.
Which means I can, like, and people like Zarban would understand right away what that means. People who can transform in other races. So, but, yeah, this is kind of weird. But let's go back to Super Saiyan, like...
So, Super Saiyan Goku beats Frieza.
Yeah, but, and with the problem with the Super Saiyan, why did... I think the multiplier thing was a pointless addition.
Yeah.
Maybe, like... they could have explained it in another way, the form, like some other way that doesn't cause problems in the future.
Yeah, so that you could maybe keep power levels relevant.
Yeah,
or they could have just not easily done that big of a jump, because I mean, like, the jump in power in Namek Saga was already massive, but in Cell Saga it was already ridiculous.
I kind of blame Frieza for this, because the thing is yeah, the jump was kind of ridiculous even with the Ginyu Force. Because there was no reason to have, like, numbers just jump around that high.
Yeah, like, Requiem was 90,000?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And as far as we know, like, Vegeta was before, like, in Saiyan Saga, what was he?
19.
19. Yeah, exactly. That big of a jump already.
And
there was no reason, like, they could have made it, like, more simple that, if there's a guy with a power level of 15,000, there's no hope of him fighting a guy with the power level of 20,000.
Yeah.
But apparently, like we talked in the Power Levels podcast, it's that, yes, you can fight, but you won't probably win.
Yeah. Which is... Exactly.
The differences were more drastic when we were talking about the difference between 900 and 1,500.
Yeah.
But not anymore when the difference is still 5,000, but the numbers are already like in the tens of thousands.
Exactly, it's like weird. And the thing is with the Super Saiyan, and it's not Super Saiyan's fault, because when it was introduced, it kind of had to work that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, like, Akira Toriyama decided that Frieza's power is 540,000 to be the universe's strongest. Like, with the numbers, the problem with the numbers, like we said in the power level thing, is the numbers don't tell anything. Like, how fast is the person, or how strong, how defensive. Like, if you look at video games, there's no, like, here's the power level. No, here's the attack stat, defense stat, HP and stuff.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help with that. And because of that, Super Saiyan had to be, like, 50 times.
But yeah, to be stronger than Frieza.
Yeah. And it's like, fine. And obviously, with the Super Saiyan form, because it's clearly like a form that is supposed to be like the last thing. Like, how it's written.
Yeah. And, like, that's like clearly known. Like, you don't need to do more than a simple Google search that it was supposed to end there.
Actually, the fact that it's not so much that it was supposed to end, it's Akira Toriyama is always ready to end it.
Yeah.
So when he can end it whenever. Like in the Saiyan saga, he was ready to end it there.
Yeah, and that's like, to me, I'm like this sort of artist thing.
Yeah.
Like, I simply cannot understand that perspective that you are ready to end whenever. But I suppose that after like writing for such a long time, you would be ready to move on for something else.
Yeah.
Like, maybe he had something else on mind, like another anime, or maybe he wanted to start plumbing. We don't know.
Yeah.
But, like, let's keep it as a Super Saiyan. So, after Namek Saga, we have Cell Saga, or Android Saga, and then we have...
Two problems.
Two problems, yeah.
One problem. It's a problem specifically not because other characters get the form. It's because it's a the legendary thing. Because this is like a problem like stories tend to have. It's if you watch like other anime, if like like for people who know, like I'm gonna talk to like Bleach, which is an anime where you have, people are soul reapers and they have like specific magic swords. But the magic swords, the coolest thing in the world, are not like legendary. They're things you have.
Attainable.
They're attainable. Like, if you're a Soul Reaper, you have that. Then the different levels ones are harder. But when you become good, you'll get them. So by introducing more of them, there's no problem. It's like, there's more people who can use, like, Bankai, which is the highest level. It's like, it makes sense. Like, oh, of course, people are getting better. Now they're getting it. But the problem with the Super Saiyan
is that now
it's suddenly, a legend.
Yeah, and now it suddenly turns to a thing that you can attain through training and then emotion.
Yeah.
And I think like one of the worst, like before Trunks and Goten, so let's stay in the Android and Cell Saga, is like Vegeta's transformation, because it's out of frustration.
Yes, and with that one, there's two messages being sent to the viewer with the Vegeta's transformation. One is that before like Vegeta's transform, the thing was like you need to have a pure heart. Like that's what Goku said. Like something like that. And with Vegeta, he is a proof of that not being true.
Yeah.
And clearly, Super Saiyan transformation. Partially I like that. Like from idea wise, like execution was one thing, but with the idea of like Super Saiyan is actually just a biological thing, but people add meaning to it. I like that.
Yeah.
I think like for me stories benefit when they work that way, where in the in-world, everything is biological, makes sense. There's a scientific answer. But people give the meaning. Like how Super Saiyan is a legend and you need pure heart. That's what Goku thought. Goku's not a professional when it comes to Super Saiyan.
Exactly.
So that's what I like about it. But I have to say, through a story-wise, it happened too fast. Whereas like the next time Vegeta appeared and he's like, I have Super Saiyan. But you need a pure heart to be a Super Saiyan. Well, I was pure evil.
Well, yeah, but like that, I think when Vegeta transformed, that like transpired one of the best lines. It was Krillin who said, "Guess who joined the Super Saiyan club?"
Yeah,
a club of 2 people.
A club of 2, 3 if you get Trunks, but Trunks was in the future, so. But yeah,
in the future and the past and the present at the same time.
But like my point is like I can see people have a problem generally with the Super Saiyan because Super Saiyan used to be special but it's not anymore. Yeah. Which I get the sentiment. I have a problem usually like in Dragon Ball Super how Super Saiyan is treated. I don't have a problem that Super Saiyan is common. Like that's not my issue. My problem with Goten and Trunks is that they...
Hey, let's not jump there. We haven't gotten Gohan yet.
Yeah, but we're talking about the Super Saiyan in general.
Yeah.
So I'm just grabbing concepts like that.
Yeah.
Like so I'm not jumping there. I'm more like taking the ideas. With things like Goten and Trunks, and Cauliflower and Kale, and Kaba.
Yeah.
The problem with them is that they're cheating. Then it's not that it's not like Super Saiyan, I have a problem with it being common. I'm pretty sure some people don't have a problem with it common, but some people do. Yeah. Because they think it needs to be special.
Yeah, they somehow worship this idea of a Super Saiyan.
Yeah, but for me, like, the problem I have with Goten and Trunks is not that they are Super Saiyan, it's how they got it.
Yeah.
Because it undercuts what happened before. With specifically, I think Goten and Trunks is worse than Cauliflower and Kales and Kabas.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah. But, and...
Especially Kabas, because Kaba was actually provoked like in a way that a Super Saiyan,
even if
like,
it was easier,
because
but
you have to, like, we'll come back to it, but you have to think like of what kind of world and place he is from and how he's being provoked. Yeah, like to him that's like a big threat. But let's go back. So,
but my point was exactly that. The problem, like I have with the Super Saiyan form, is not so much that it's not common. I am, like I said, I am the type of person who likes that.
Whatever builds up the story.
Whatever builds up the story. And also that things are biological. Or scientific. Like the same, like, for me, like in Star Wars prequels, the what was it called? The four midichlorians thing.
Yeah.
I have the midichlorians thing, the problem I have with it is that it was explained in a wrong place. At the wrong time. Like, oh, hello, little Anakin. Let me tell you about the midichlorians. And for me, it's like, that's a completely pointless time to explain something like that. Just imagine if Goku was training Gohan's like, hello, Gohan's, how do you turn Super Saiyan? Well, did you know there's S cells that flowing inside you? Like, completely unprovoked. That would be bad, right? Yeah. But I don't have a problem with the idea of, like, midichlorians or S cells. Because the way I look at it, like, always, is that things are scientific or biological, but people give it meaning. Like, and I think that for me adds it, like, makes it better. Like, I like the idea that Goku thinks that it's supposed to be pure-hearted. Yeah, that's his perspective on Super Saiyan.
Because that's his perspective. Because let's face it, like even though manga and anime and especially the English dub differ a lot, like what Goku says and why he does things. Yeah, like he's not the hero. Yeah, he's hero by default. But he's still pure-hearted because he doesn't mean ill by things he does. So he is pure-hearted in that way.
And I get what you mean, exactly. But in the Cell Saga, in Andros Saga, when they introduced new Super Saiyan, at least at that point, we didn't see Vegeta, but we did see Trunks turning into Super Saiyan. And with Gohan, we didn't see in the manga, but we did see in the anime. Yeah. Is that they had to be pushed to get to that point.
Well, you can imagine that Trunks was pushed like way hard.
Trunks was pushed way hard to become a Super Saiyan.
Yeah, like way harder than Gohan.
Way harder than Gohan. And with Gohan, that into...
Speaking of, like, that's how he was pushed. Gohan died. That's how Trunks was pushed.
Yeah. So with this one, for me, how they handled it in the Android saga and the Cell saga, I think Super Saiyan giving Super Saiyan to these guys was handled well.
Yeah.
Because they didn't just get it. With anime, in the anime, they gave Vegeta justice by giving you all these scenes where he's like really frustrated and wants to become a Super Saiyan.
Yeah, well, you can call frustration also anger, so I think you could count that.
Yeah, like all of the Super Saiyan transformations followed the general feel of the original Goku
like,
Super Saiyan.
Wasn't like Goku saying to Gohan, like, imagine what would happen to Chi-Chi or
like in the anime,
like that, and Piccolo and all that, and that's how he first went, and then he turned back, and then he like fell asleep.
And that's the best part. Like now I remember in the manga they did show Gohan turning Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
We saw Gohan turning to Super Saiyan, then Goku saying, "Okay, now keep that feeling, but calm down." And then Gohan failed at it.
Yeah.
And it was like, that's so hard. That is like Goku saying, "I know, but you have to work on it." And I think that's the amazing part.
Yeah.
Like that's good.
Because that's when, Goku had probably realized that the Super Goku is a bad form.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to, keep the Super Saiyan form in a natural way. Like they show, like they're having a picnic in a Super Saiyan form.
Yes, and that's a good segue to that one, because this is purely Super Saiyan 1.
Yeah.
And here's the thing with the Super Saiyan, like what I liked about it. Like, I liked it and I disliked it. I liked it, the fact that Goku has to innovate. He had to, like, we need to figure out how to be calm and rational kind of in this form by getting used to it.
Yeah.
And I like that idea, but at the same time, it removes the Super Saiyan feeling of the Super Saiyan, if you know what I mean. Like, Goku acts like Goku, like happy-go-lucky in his base form. But when he's Super Saiyan form, he is more serious. He has the eyes being more sharp.
Yeah.
The scowl. Yeah. And it's kind of like, oh, now we have Super Saiyan Goku. But when he went to, like, calm down and became, like, that normal, then we got the old Goku as Super Saiyan.
But you could call that, like, that form of a Super Saiyan, you could call that, like, the condensed. Like, like the same as, you're holding back your power, like Krillin and Piccolo were doing when Vegeta and Nappa were trying to find out their power, and then they realized that, they're holding back their power.
I get exactly what you mean.
Like, that's the same what Goku is doing, and then when he, boosts up, that's when he's, the Super Saiyan again.
Yeah. And actually, that's a cool way of looking at it. I haven't thought of it that way. But yeah, like...
that's what this podcast is about. I make you think about things, you make me think about things, and that's, what we are here for.
Exactly.
And then, like, the amazing thing about Gohan and showing that he has limitless potential, and showing that he can learn quickly, because at that point, even Goku hadn't mastered the Super Saiyan yet.
Yeah.
But Gohan did as well.
Both had it.
Yeah, both mastered the Super Saiyan. And Gohan did it just by being just like Daddy.
One thing I was kind of surprised with this, like, this is like character things. Okay, Vegeta first came out of there before Goku and Gohan went in.
Yeah.
And we get the Super Vegeta thing and stuff like that.
Yes.
Then Vegeta came back as Goku and so on, and Goku just said flat out that, we're stronger. Like, like he went something like, and Vegeta was kind of frustrated about it. What I was surprised is he went back. We know that Vegeta went back to the hyperbolic time chamber, but we didn't see him like showing off something new. He had a year, but when he came out of it, he kind of, like, in the story they never showed, like, okay, this is a post-year Vegeta. So here's the thing. Like, you could imagine, like, Vegeta would mimic Goku when it comes to, like, the perfect calming one, if he sees the benefit of it.
If he sees the benefit, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, or at least, if not that, something. But
I think they're trying to emphasize, even though they don't explain it, but they're trying to emphasize that the fact that Vegeta is constantly training and not recovering is what is holding him back.
Yeah, and that's actually that would work better if they had another example.
But they clearly
like with Goku and Gohan, and I understand it. Like, but it looked less like that Goku and Gohan were like their lack of training. The fact that they calmed down and relaxed the Super Saiyan was able to give them this power more than them generally relaxing. Like for example, if they were all in base form, would the same tactic work?
I don't know.
Like, for me, like it would have been more beneficial if they had someone like, you know, Tien or Krillin or someone benefit the same way. Yeah. Whereas like Goku is not gonna train with Gohan and say we're gonna relax, and Krillin is like afraid or something. Like, yeah, that's good for you, but what am I going to do? And then Goku would say, like calmingly, that Krillin, if you do this too, you benefit as well. Let me show you, like stuff like that where Krillin benefits too, where we see him get stronger, and then we realize like, right, training is important, but taking a break is also.
Well, that's what you realize. Like at that point, I had been going to the gym also, so it's clear that you need to rest and recover. You can't constantly train. So I like that they made it.
I agree. That's a great way of doing it. I was kind of hope like I always say when it comes to like Dragon Ball or fighting things general, you have to kind of explain it for people who are not used to those things. Mm-hmm. Like concept, like, oh, I did not, like when I was like before gym, I didn't know those things, so it didn't click on me. That's how it works.
It's the same. Like you won't get better at running if you run 8 hours a day.
Right.
You won't have the energy for it in the first place, but you will like just exhaust yourself.
Right. And exactly. Here's before like continuing to like that was the last point we saw that Super Saiyan any other detail with it. Before we go to the Majin Buu arc, let's talk about Cell.
Yeah.
In the manga, we could never have this conversation because it's not in color.
Yeah.
But in the anime, Cell always had kind of that Super Saiyan aura.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't remember like when he got it. Like we know like Perfect Cell has it, but did, for example, Semi-Perfect Cell have a golden aura when he charged up, for example, or when he fought like, Super Vegeta?
Well, if he had an aura, then it was yellow because I don't remember any other color.
Yeah, and same thing with Imperfect Cell. Like it's one of those important questions because if Cell has all of the people's genes and he has them enough where he can benefit from them. For example, he's not an Namekian, clearly, but he has, like, I would say almost that a better version of regenerating than Piccolo. Because I doubt Piccolo could regenerate just by his upper body being destroyed and then regenerate the rest of his body. The same way...
Yeah, no, he can't.
Like, the same way, like, Cell can.
So but I think that's, like, partly because Cell is also an android. Like, sort of
he, in the Japanese language, like in the Dragon Ball in Japanese, they're called artificial humans.
Yeah, so he has more, like, different kinds of regenerative cells than just
he has
the
Frieza
Namekian ones.
Well, we know that Frieza is a type of person who, well, if you cut him up, he doesn't die from it.
Yeah.
So it could be just that as well, that when Cell gets like...
And it could be that he had also some sort of nanocells like we see in every other movie that also like, you know, can heal wounds.
That's also a possibility.
So he has those, then he has the Namekian thing, and then he has the Frieza thing.
Yeah.
You add all those up and maybe that gives you the all regenerative thing.
And here's the thing with the with when it comes to that Cell. It's fair to assume, alongside that he knows other people's techniques, that he couldn't access Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Because remember, he's from the future, and in the future, when he was, I know what you're making about. Just say it, you know.
I am from the future.
Well, yeah, like Cell was from the future, and how was his data collected from the machines, like these things? Right?
Yeah.
And he got those things from like the same information from like Dr. Gero, and it was like from Raditz, from all of the Z fighters, from Vegeta and Nappa, but not Namek.
Yeah.
Not Namek. Trunks didn't come in that timeline.
Yeah, he didn't.
Frieza came. Frieza data was had back then. Super Saiyan Goku, okay, was had back then. because Super Saiyan Goku had to come. But when I'm saying, like, with all this information, Cell has to have the ability, the benefits of a Super Saiyan, which makes sense when it, like, which is like one of those interesting things. Like, he must, and the fact that he can remember, like, super perfect Cell, like when he, or perfect
Cell, perfect form.
Yes, perfect Cell, perfect form. The one he came back from when he got Gaboom.
Yeah.
That was Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah, clearly.
That was clearly Super Saiyan 2. Like, it had the electric aura and everything.
Yes.
And I think he was as strong as Gohan was. But the fact that he got distracted and Gohan rage boosted. I think he rage boosted while he was Super Saiyan 2.
Well, yeah, like he was pushed.
Yeah, he was pushed further. And it's like, I found it interesting, like, Cell can be counted into the Super Saiyan thing.
And also there's the thing where you can, we will do a podcast on it, the special moves.
Yeah.
Like Kamehameha is the thing that you can make that beam stronger than what your power level is.
Clearly, Raditz is a proof of that point. Because that's when it happened, and he was, like, surprised from it. The question is, though...
Yeah, the same thing with Special Beam Cannon.
Yeah, with Special Beam. The question is that... Can Vegeta now do that?
Like, I would imagine Final Flash being a lot stronger than Super Vegeta.
Mm-hmm, that's a good point. I wonder if that's his first move that ever was like that. We have Big Bang Attack, but...
Vegeta's first. Well, we don't know. Like, Gallic Gun doesn't take that much of a charging, so I would imagine that it's like full power energy wave, so that if your power is 18,000, then the wave is 18,000.
If Raditz is surprised at what Goku did, Vegeta probably doesn't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Next, here's the next thing we should kind of consider.
As a Super Saiyan.
As a Super Saiyan, the Majin Buu arc. And I kind of talked about Goten and Trunks, but this is like the first thing we can focus on specifically. Because with Goten and Trunks, how they got the Super Saiyan forms, they got it because they have it. Now, like, we can rationalize why that's the case, but at that point, they had it just because.
Yeah.
We can theorize that because their parents were Super Saiyan and that's how they got it.
Like, it doesn't apply for Trunks.
It doesn't apply. True, but that's a good point. And plus, kind of weird that Kid Trunks doesn't have the same situation than Future Trunks had. He couldn't. Then again, in the manga, I totally forgot about this. In the manga, we never saw Trunks not being a Super Saiyan. He could turn already Super Saiyan while Future Gohan was alive.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, and in the anime they changed it.
Yeah, because it makes more sense.
It does. But
then again, like, Gohan at that point, like the future Gohan, is a really good teacher. So, like,
I could understand.
I could see him being able to teach that dude. What was it, 10, 12-year-old Trunks?
Yeah, I do. I can believe it. It's one of those things where, like, from a storytelling way, like, what would be the most appropriate? Like, clearly, the one we like in the anime was the more emotional one.
Yeah, more impact.
But when you think about, like, logically, it's kind of one of those weird things because that would mean Goku is an amazing teacher when it comes to a Super Saiyan, like by being able to teach Gohan, Super Saiyan. But like, here's the thing: this is like the problem I have with Dragon Ball Super and Goten and Trunks as well. If that's the case, what's the tingly feeling in the back thing then? By that logic, Gohan should have been Super Saiyan way easier.
Yeah. And Goten and Trunks should learn it.
Yeah, they would have to understand, like, I have a tingly feeling. It's not like they said, I had this tingly feeling in my back, and then I got Super Saiyan. It's no, I was fighting, like, randomly, and then I accidentally did it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, that is something I don't like.
And the Trunks turning Super Saiyan conspired another great quote, and it's a Super Saiyan bargain sale.
Here's the thing, you know what I would like in Majin Buu Saga? How Super Saiyan was introduced for the kids? Instead of like having Goten and Trunks ever turn into Super Saiyan while we're there, the first thing Goten appears, he turns into a Super Saiyan. Because at least...
Yeah, or have Goten and Trunks fighting like Babidi or you know the
or some sort of
Pui Pui, you know, or Yakon or whatever,
or have Super Boo when he kills their parents while they are looking, that causes it.
Yeah, like something.
Yeah, something. But like, if you want, like, that's one way of doing it when you want them personally to become Super Saiyan. But if you're gonna make fusion dance like more impressive, you can introduce that fusion dance is a special thing. That even when two kids fuse together, Gotenks is able to kind of access, either be able to turn Super Saiyan without trying, or what you do is like, he's kind of like a high potential Saiyan.
Yeah, like Gohan.
Like Gohan or some like stuff like that, where when he becomes Super Saiyan, like he either jumps one ahead. Like when Goten decides to become Super Saiyan, he just goes in Super Saiyan 2. And it's like, whoa. And everybody was like, wait, that's Super Saiyan 2. How did he do that? Because all of those things would be impressive. But yeah, like with Goten and Trunks, I think I know why Akira Toriyama did that. Because he said like, well, the power levels are now so high that these kids can't fight if they were normal. So we need to make them special by being them able to turn Super Saiyan right away.
Yeah.
But I think, well, clearly you should have just waited for a situation where you could justify it for.
Yeah, like just create a situation where they would have to like maybe even accidentally, you know, create it. Like maybe in the World Tournament.
Right. Maybe in the World Tournament.
Like they are like so panicking inside the Mighty Mask uniform against Android 18?
Yeah, 18. I would too.
So that they would accidentally turn Super Saiyan? And they're like both like, oh?
Also, I would do... the thing I would do with Android 18 in that scenario, with that fight, is that let her first fight softly, because, it's a human, I don't want to kill him, that kind of way. So it starts slowly, but, you know, because Goten and Trunks are strong enough to fight back. So, you know, they escalate it. Yeah. And then eventually Android 18 decides, I don't have to hold back. And she fights like she fought Vegeta before. Yeah. The same, you treat it as it's that same situation again. Mm-hmm. Except they're not Super Saiyan. And when she hits one of them, it hurts like hell. Maybe like their hand breaks. Like something happens that would be really terrifying. And she would be like, surrender now and give up, or you might not be able to wake up tomorrow. Kind of like scare the living shit out of them.
Yeah.
Which leads to them transforming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you could create like scenario. And plus, if you do that, you remind that Android Earth 18 is still, even though now she's married to Krillin and stuff, she's still the same person.
Sort of.
So, like, in the same person as in how she fights and how she
like she can have a role.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can switch roles.
Exactly. Like
she's a mom and then she's a fighter.
Yeah. Like you could have made that fight interesting and force Goten and Trunks to turn into a Super Saiyan right there by pure pressure of the situation.
But instead we got naturally talented Super Saiyans. So let's go to Kaba, because Kaba, unlike Kale and Caulifla,
I guess now it's time to jump there, because there's nothing in between those two
there's
points.
nothing in
there's
between.
no new Super Saiyan or any.
No,
like at that point.
Because there are no new Saiyans.
Because this was the only one thing that was explained, like one scenario before we go there. It is with Gotenks. With Gotenks, it said that you should fuse. Goku said that Goten and Trunks should fuse together as Super Saiyans, because if they fuse together as normally, they can't go Super Saiyan.
But
like at the beginning, they couldn't.
But they clearly,
like later on, they learned it. But at the beginning, when he first fought Majin Buu, he couldn't go Super Saiyan.
Yeah,
because he fused as base form. He just got cocky and went fight him, and eventually he then became Super. Goten and Trunks went Super Saiyan, and then did the dance and became Super Saiyan. And then played around, and then the time limit happened.
Yeah.
But when they were sent to the hyperbolic time chamber, where they were trained like for a couple of weeks while Super Buu was coming there, then they learned how to do it. They went Super Saiyan as Gotenks, which raises this question, which would have been interesting if Goten and Trunks had to work for the Super Saiyan, because if Goten and Trunks need to work for their Super Saiyans and then they get it, that means that Gotenks doesn't have a trauma. That's why he can't do it. because he's not Goten or Trunks. So those situations don't relate to him directly, so he can't do it. That would have been the explanation.
Yeah.
So then you would have to kind of work for the Super Saiyan form. But because Goten Trunks kind of already knew it, so what does that mean for the fusion dance? Why couldn't he do it at the beginning? Like, it's kind of weird.
Don't know.
But let's go to the next time
Kaba.
we saw a Saiyan who could probably turn to Super Saiyan. It was Kaba from Universe 6 in the Universe 6 tournament. And
friendly sparring match.
We learned that Super Saiyans don't exist in
Universe
6. Which is like...
Apparently there was no legend either.
No legend either. Which is... If they were rough and tough and sociopathic, like Universe 7, we could accept that. Because the fact is, at that point, we were explained that, like... Even especially, like, with how Akira Toriyama explained it, with the S-cell thing, you need to be a kind-hearted and, a person who... Basically not a sociopath, who lives in peace to get this form. But in Universe 6, they were peaceful.
Yeah.
They were empathetic. They were not like sociopath. So that the fact that there isn't, not Super Saiyan Legend, the fact that there's no Super Saiyan now is weird. Because even if there weren't like, bunch of Super Saiyan running out, so there should be at least some. Like, for example, the police force should have Super Saiyans. Like, even if the general public doesn't have it, the police force should have it, because they would have known about it. But for whatever reason, Universe 6 doesn't have Super Saiyan. They don't have the legend. But even then, Kaba gets it easily. Okay, sure, he was pushed by Vegeta. Yeah. But the push Vegeta did to Kaba can't be the first thing. He's a police officer in Separado Sadal. This can't be the first time, Saiyans from that planet came into this kind of situation.
But it could be because he has seen that these Universe 7 guys, they are fucking strong, stronger than him.
Yeah.
So that when Vegeta makes the threat about, destroying the planet, killing Kaba's family, everything, it's such an emotional push that you can compare it to, the push that Goku got.
But that would mean, in Planet Sod, in Universe 6, Saiyans are the strongest in the universe. By effect, in the sense that if you have a Saiyan warrior in any planet, he's most likely the strongest there. And if there is someone else stronger, they might not be by much. Because only in that scenario, you would end up in where Vegeta doing that would work. Because then it would make sense. Yeah, Vegeta is so much stronger than Kaba. So him being pushed, this would be the first time he realizes that planet Sadal is in danger. But that would also mean that scenario didn't happen before. Where someone else appeared that could say, I'm gonna kill your family. And then and Kaba was afraid of that. Probably not before, because if that was the case, then he would have been able to kick his ass. That would explain why he never got a Super Saiyan. That means that Saiyans in Universe 6 are so strong, they're not afraid of anything. And because they're not afraid of anything, and they don't worry about anything, they didn't turn into a Super Saiyan. Because their life is that peaceful. They never fought lost. But that, like I said, that requires that Universe 6's strongest beings are Saiyans.
Well, as far as we can tell, from even the Universe Survival Arc thing, there's basically nothing new, strength-wise.
Yeah, strength-wise, exactly. But what I exactly saying, with Universe 6, for Kaba's thing to work, that has to be the case.
Or then it's just so peaceful that maybe there are other strong guys, but they wouldn't give a flying rat's ass.
I think that also that. Either also that they are other strong beings, but they don't give rat's ass, or the stronger beings are so far away from Sadal.
They could be in a different galaxy.
Right, and they a third world galaxy.
Yeah.
That planet Sadal is not close to, and when any threat is done to them, it doesn't affect them.
Yeah.
But that also means that Saiyans themselves don't cause infighting too much.
True.
So it's what I was a lot of things have to be true for that scenario to work.
But I would imagine that is because there is nowhere explained that you would have to have this tingling feeling in your back for Kaba to go Super Saiyan.
There wasn't. he was pushed to get angrier, and then but honestly, like I said, I always try to with every scenario say what happened and how we can justify. Like this can be justified, but here's what I wished was true. I wish that either two things. One, because like planet Sadal is peaceful, and the universe 6 Saiyans are peaceful, and Super Saiyan God, its entire thing is the thing is like peaceful Saiyan coming together and doing the ritual, and then he gets that strong. I would wish that in Universe 6, the only Super Saiyan they know about is Super Saiyan God, and that's what they consider the Super Saiyan.
But is there a Super Saiyan God? Do they have that legend either?
I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah, I doubt.
Yeah, but for example, like if that was what Kaba was able to do, even then Vegeta would be stronger, and Vegeta would be like Super Saiyan Blue, which is Super Saiyan God with Super Saiyan, and Kaba would only have Super Saiyan God. The same scenario would happen again, because how do I get Super Saiyan Blue? Well, easily, you have to turn to Super Saiyan while being that form. What is a Super Saiyan? And then you came in the same scenario again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Like, and then by the end you would have a Super Saiyan Blue Kaba.
Which would make Super Saiyan Blue bargain sale.
I would say, I don't think, for me, bargain sale is specifically what Goten and Trunks did. Like, specifically where it's like 0 effort.
Well, yeah, but
with Super Saiyan Blue, like with Kaba, there would be a justification for it. Like, he has Super Saiyan God in a justifiable way. And Super Saiyan Blue is something he has to work for. Yeah. But it would rise, but then, if that was the case, it would cause a problem, because then you would have to somehow explain this concept to Caulifla and Kale, which would be a bad idea.
Yeah, like they would have to go through a ritual, and speaking of like Caulifla, because she's the next one to go.
Yeah.
Super Saiyan. So like, she wouldn't have the patience for it.
She wouldn't. And with her, again, with my opinion, they should have just at least been Super Saiyan from the get-go. And Super Saiyan 2 is something she unlocks.
Yeah, like this tingling feeling in the back, it's a new thing. Like, this is the first time, like, you should focus your key in the back to turn Super Saiyan.
And it's supposed to be like...
it makes you think, well, what if an Earthling did that?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Would it transpire anything, or is it the Saiyan thing? Because that is just, as I understood, like, it's like sort of a cell or key.
Yeah.
Well, Krillin has ki, Tien has ki, so if they focus that in their back or other place, glutes, I don't know.
Yeah, and the fact, exactly, and they could have. I know why they did that. It's because Caulifla is not Super Saiyan, and Kale is not Super Saiyan, and they want to give them a quick way of becoming Super Saiyan
for the tournament.
So, not only Super Saiyan 2 for Caulifla. So with that, tingling feeling in the back, and then you'll be able to become Super Saiyan.
Mm-hmm.
And then Super Saiyan 2 happened like in that fight with Kale, like accidentally.
Yeah.
So that's how they did that.
But that was like kind of like happened just too fast, the Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah. I would say...
But it was necessary, because otherwise Kale would have probably destroyed the entire planet they were on.
Makes sense. But like I said, like, the thing is, it was understandable, like, in the scenario, but for that to be justifiable, like with the Super Saiyan 2, because Super Saiyan 2 through Gohan, we know it's like being snapped into that form. Kind of like Super Saiyan against Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if Kale almost kills someone Caulifla cares about, or Kale almost killed herself, and then by forcing herself to save Kale caused the Super Saiyan 2 to happen, sure, then I would understand. That would be a bit more justifiable. But the fact is like, if you're gonna do like Super Saiyan 2 is what Caulifla is gonna get, she should already have Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Because then we don't know how long she had it. She could have the Super Saiyan for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then Super Saiyan 2 she was really close to Super Saiyan 2. She could have even said in Kaba when he meets her, like, while she was Super Saiyan, said, "Oh, Kaba, you might be a Super Saiyan right now, but I'm this close for the next level." What is the next level? You'll see. And then eventually she then just turned.
Or she could have said that, "Oh, you're the second Super Saiyan that I've seen. The first one being me."
Yes, that would also be cool. Like,
Because that would fit Cauliflower's personality.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, like, the entire thing is the problem is they hurried. Same thing with Kale's like Super Saiyan Berserk, which I don't know why they didn't just stick with Legendary Super Saiyan.
Yeah, well,
at least with the Legendary Super Saiyan, with Broly it's explained. It's the thing in the past that destroyed the planet is what Broly was, and that makes sense when you think about it. When you see Broly, it's
and
like
Kale.
In Kale, you can see like I understand how that destroyed the planet.
Exactly.
With Goku, it's like, oh, okay, he's a Super Saiyan. Like, the planet.
He's really angry, but he's not destroying the planet.
Right. So, and when Vegeta went became Super Saiyan, he did destroy the planet? No, he didn't. So with Broly, he's like the explanation. Like, no. Goku was a Super Saiyan, sure, but he's not the legendary Super Saiyan. Not the one that destroyed the planet.
And that's why Broly is a special snowflake and should stay in the movies. Boom!
For me, like, with Kale, one, it doesn't have the same punch as Broly. Like, it doesn't have... They assume you know Broly. That's why they didn't explain it at all.
And probably half of the watchers of Super don't. Like, they have seen Broly, but have they seen the movies? Probably not.
Possibly oil, like, depending on what age group.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's what I'm pointing to, because the time difference between the Broly movies, like especially the first one, and Super, is quite drastic.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying that probably half, or maybe like a quarter, have no idea what Broly is.
With Kale, you could have explained a lot of... That's the thing, they hurried. If they stuck around to the planet and have them see what kind of Sadal was, and have them have the legendary thing. Maybe the Saiyans know about Kale or her thing, and that's why they have an eye on her the entire time, kind of like a military, like the Saiyan NRA, like looking at them like far away, like spying on them, like is Kale's situation? No, situation is calm. Head back to report later. You know, stuff like that. that they were aware of, like Kale's thing.
Yeah, because apparently, like, we talked about this earlier. So, the legendary Super Saiyan Broly, like in base form, he has this sort of sadness to him. Like it's this sort of like weird conflict with Kakarot.
Yeah, like
it's Kakarot, the name that makes him go ape.
Yeah.
So and with Kale, it's not him, her seeing like Cauliflower caring about someone else than her,
and then jealousy and sadness.
Yeah, jealousy.
Yeah, and jealousy. But I think specifically like she's jealous, and then because she's jealous, she's sad. The same way, kind of like how.
And she feels like really like inconfident.
Yeah, and I think that seemed to like bubble up. And then that's coming, which raises a question: is Legendary Super Saiyan just that? Like when you think about like how Super Saiyan has worked till now, it's like it seems to be a biological thing, and has just like people add like mythology to it. Before with Broly, we thought it was just specific gene thing, as in you are born as a Legendary Super Saiyan.
Yeah, because like didn't like the movie say that King Vegeta banished.
Yeah, because Broly had like 10,000 power level like when he was born.
Yeah, and which is like almost as strong as Vegeta's son.
Yeah,
and that kind of happened.
Mm-hmm. So, like with Kale, because she got that form, not because she was like anybody else with Tingle, she just became like this anger and sadness, and then that form appeared. That just raises a question where if another character who's a Saiyan gets that same situation, does the same thing happen?
Yeah, but that... Well, like, Kale doesn't, disprove the mutated...
No, it doesn't disprove, but it just raises the question.
Yeah.
Like, because with Broly, it's more clearly looks like you're born that way. Like, he was always, like, had Super Saiyan form when he was, like, going crazy when he was a kid. But the thing is, like, when he became, like, adult, then he became the first time. When he was like in the flashbacks, he wasn't the legendary Super Saiyan, he was just a Super Saiyan that went mad and was destroying everything. So, and because he couldn't control his power, and yeah, it still could be the legendary Super Saiyan thing, just eating him alive. But with Kale specifically, it's because he never transformed to that form before. Broly was always had that problem.
Yeah.
But with Kale, until she became that sad and stuff, and bubbled inside and then it appeared, it just raises the question that it still could be the same thing as the Broly's, but it also brings out this question: is it like that? Like if some other Saiyan gets that much sadness to anger, the same thing occur? Because
I don't know.
Because for example, because all the Super Saiyan we've seen this point were more like angry.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like the Gohan had like sadness.
Yeah.
And a lot of conflict when he turned Super Saiyan 2.
Right. But when his Super Saiyan 2 thing happened, it was specifically miffed, like, now it's over. More like, kind of like, remember as he was a kid when he got Rage Boost, what happened?
Yeah.
He, like, started fighting.
Yeah.
Like, that scenario occurred. So even with him, it's like, he gets angry, and then he snaps, and then he starts fighting.
And he, like, really couldn't control it. Like, he just went ham. Like, he didn't care what he was against. Like, I mean, the kid Gohan going against Raditz.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Or as a more grown-up kid against Frieza. The third form, the final form, even.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that was the Super Saiyan.
Mm-hmm.
We enjoyed creating this podcast. I hope that you enjoyed listening to it. All applicable links can be found down below in the description. Please send an email for your podcast idea. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we won't. Maybe we already have. And we'll see ya next time.
See ya.